top 15 strongest characters right now. We left off legends. We left off some dead people. We left off the Grossi. Um, so obviously, tell us who you guys think. Your top 5, top 10, whatever you want to tell us. Kadeem, let's start at 15 for you. Who do you have at 15?
So at 15, I had a list of people who really just barely got eaten out, but Shiryu of the Rain comes in at 15.
Okay.
As of right now, I'd give him the edge. He beat out Zoro, Yamato, Green Bull, and Fujitora for me.
Heavy hitters. Okay, at my 15, I actually had Zoro.
Okay.
I think it's going to be very difficult to keep Zoro off of these lists because he does have advanced Conqueror's Haki attacks, and as we've seen now, that is the strongest attack you can have.
Yep.
So, and he beat a Luminarian. He was able to hurt Kaido. I just think he's got to be one of the top 15 right now. Okay, who do you got at 14?
Bit of a legacy pick. I'm going Monkey D. Garp. I think he's about to make his final stand against Blackbeard, and I think he'll put up a really good fight. So,
I like the respect for Garp. And I think it helps that he's still active out there. 14, I had Shiru also of the Rain. I just believe that Blackbeard's number 2 has to be ridiculous. And I do believe at one point him and Zoro are going to square off in a pretty important clash. So I have him at 14. I kind of have those two like linked together at this point. Who do you have at 13?
Trafalgar Law.
It's interesting you have him over Zoro, but I do like the respect.
Zoro physically would dominate Law, but I think Law is a lot smarter, better battle IQ even, and he's just going to hacks him out. I got Law winning that.
I had at 13, I had Fujitora. I think his Devil Fruit is still insane. Really, we didn't get enough of him yet. I think I thought he was toying with Sabo and Dressrosa. I thought it was more of a game to him. I think as an admiral, he needs to have that kind of spot. Who do you have at 12?
At 12, I'm going with Mr. Blicky himself, Ben Beckman. I think this Shanks number 2, he's probably really, really strong. I mean, he scared the shit out of Kizaru, who I actually have higher on this list. So I'm going Beckman.
We both have Beckman at 12. If anything, he could probably push even a little bit higher. He's going to be one of the all-time shooters in One Piece history. At number 11, who do you have?
Give me Crocodile. Cross Gears is up and running. I think Crocodile and Mihawk are somewhat equals here. And I think Crocodile, now that he has Haki, is a pretty big deal.
I mean, and realistically, if you think back, Crocodile was one of the strongest people we saw pre-time skip. The fact that droplets of water beat him was kind of an ass pull.
Yep. I mean, he fought Doffy in the war.
I mean, he went after Akainu. He went after Whitebeard. He fought Doffy. He made fun of Doffy. He's definitely strong. We just haven't seen him do anything since the time skip. At 11, I had Sabo, the number 2 in the Revolutionaries. We need to know what happened in some of these fights he's had with the admirals to really know where he's at. But I definitely believe he's in the top 15. Number 10, who do you got?
Kizaru.
Yes.
This is where Kizaru comes in for me. Really offensive Devil Fruit, really fast. I putting the yellow monkey up there.
Yeah, I also had Kizaru at 10. Do you take anything from like Film Red about Kizaru, like the way Shanks was able to handle him?
Well, I have Shanks really, really high on this list.
Yeah, so do I. I'm just wondering if you took any of that
no,
into consideration.
That's not an anti-feat for me. It just, if anything, it shows Shanks had to be serious, I think, in order to back him off.
Number 9 for you.
Flame Emperor Sabo.
Okay, you have Sabo at 9. Okay, cool.
Sabo had crazy Haki and Dressrosa. Has a great fruit. I think he's only been getting stronger since we've seen him.
Fair. At number 9, I have Aokiji. We don't know anything about him. We don't know if if he is weaker from when he fought Akainu or what's happened since. We do know he's joined Blackbeard in some capacity, but I do think there's got to be some kind of drop off because he lost his arm and he was damaged in the fight with Akainu, but I don't know how much. So that's why I put him at number 9.
Okay.
Number 8.
This is going to be the biggest gap in our picks.
Okay, so you have him at 8. Okay.
No. At number 8, I have the world's strongest swordsman.
Yeah, no, I assumed he'd be in that range for you.
I have Mihawk at 8. This really isn't, I think, a bad place for Mihawk because everybody over him is so stupid strong. I'll explain the person directly preceding him after this, but I think Mihawk can fight anybody and make it a really, really hard fight. There's a couple arguments over this, but I'd go Mihawk at 8.
Okay, my number 8, I still have Big Mom in there.
Okay.
Seeing her lose to Kid and Law was interesting. She never used her advanced Conqueror's Haki attack either, so I was a little bit confused on that fight and the way Oda laid out that fight. But I'm gonna still give her the benefit of the doubt. She is a Yonko. If they are alive, if her and Kaido are alive, I still have her at 8.
Yeah.
Number 7.
So number 7 is where I have Aokiji.
Okay.
The reason I have him here is because every time we see his devil fruit, it's on a massive scale. Like he's freezing half the ocean, or he's freezing tidal waves, or he's freezing stuff so it lasts like 7 days. Freezing half of an island. Like every time we see him use his power, it's on a massive scale. So that's why he narrowly beat out Mihawk.
Okay. At 7, this is where I have Luffy slide in.
Okay.
He could probably be a little bit higher, but I still don't think he can beat Kaido one-on-one.
Oh, no.
And I do think the people behind him on my list, he can beat at this point. So I have Luffy at 7. Who do you have at 6?
6, I have Big Mom.
Big Mom.
Yeah, 6 is where Mom slides in. I debated her over Luffy. I think right now with his goofy ass powers, Luffy barely beats her. But I still, like you said, there was a lot she really didn't show. I mean, she can eat souls and stuff. I think she's still insanely strong if she's still alive.
Okay. At 6, I have Akainu at 6. This is where it gets really jam-packed for me because I believe that Akainu is on the same level as a Kaido, a Shanks, a Blackbeard, a Mihawk for me. So this like 6 through 2 is very, very close. So I don't want anybody to be like, why the hell do you have Akainu? No, I think Akainu can beat these guys. I think he's on the same level. It's just hard to rank when everybody's on the same level. So Akainu at 6 for me. Who do you have at 5?
Straw Hat Luffy.
Okay.
This is where I think with Gear 5th, if he goes all out, this is where I feel like he beats everybody beneath him. The top 4, I think, just have either they're a little too strong or have a little too much experience.
Okay, that's fair. At 5, I have Kaido. I was debating having Kaido or Blackbeard at this spot, and I ended up going with Kaido. He beat Luffy 3 times. Like it took a lot to beat Kaido, no matter what. So I definitely think he's one of the top 5 strongest people in One Piece still. Who do you have at 4?
This is where I'm putting Akainu. Fun fact for those out there, about 4 years ago, me and Doug were in a group chat on Twitter, and I said to everybody I thought Akainu was Yonko level. They laughed in my face and kicked me out of the group chat. So
you were right.
Here we are.
Hell of a call by you. At 4, I slid Blackbeard in at 4. The thing is, we haven't seen Blackbeard pick it up yet. Like,
okay,
that's my main thing. Like, we just haven't seen him. We've seen him beat a couple people. We've seen him, steal some devil fruits, but we haven't seen him like. I thought at this point, like, I didn't expect him to fight Law, like, but if he was to fight Law, I expect him to dominate at this point, and we don't know. So I'm going to put him at 4 with the potential to go even further. Number 3.
Blackbeard's my 3.
Okay.
2 devil fruits. The only problem is I don't know, like you said, one, he's never been serious. We've never seen him really use like a lot of hockey or anything. So Blackbeard has a bunch of questions, but off having two fruits and probably being one of the smarter characters in the verse, I would put Blackbeard at 3.
My number 3 is where I put in Mihawk. There's a lot of back and forth about this. It's just kind of where you fall on how you feel about swordsmanship in One Piece and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of, until it really gets shown, people are going to have a hard time believing after we've seen what Shanks has done.
Yep.
So that's fair. I got Mihawk at 3 right now. Who do you have?
Mihawk could be anywhere from 3 to 15, and you really couldn't argue. Like he's, like you said, until we see it. So that's a good pick.
Who do you have at 2 then? Because you didn't. Okay, so to preface it, guys, he didn't count Emu as on his list. So
yeah,
your 2 is going to be a little bit different for that reason.
Yeah, I think 2 was a great weapon. 2 is actually where I have Kaido.
Yeah, okay.
I think if Kaido was fully powered, wasn't spending energy keeping the island in the air, and took a fight serious from the beginning, I don't think anybody beneath him wins. Especially since he made a little dig, and I felt like this was almost towards Blackbeard when he said, devil fruits aren't how you conquer the sea. It only happens through hockey.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing that makes me think he's destroying he's beating Blackbeard in a
At
fight.
This point, or do you think going forward?
If they fought right now, I have to see what Blackbeard does with Garp and Law, because I feel like there are 3 of them are kind of going to fight around the same time.
Okay.
But yeah, as of right now, I have Kaido above Blackbeard. I think Kaido's one of the 5 strongest all time, honestly, in One Piece. He's
cool.
destructive.
I'm with you. I have Shanks at 2 at this point. Shanks, I don't think there's much you can say right now in terms of him not being the strongest Yonko. I think he's kind of put a stamp on that, and it's only going to get better for him. I do believe at one point Blackbeard is going to kill Shanks, but as of now, Shanks is the strongest Yonko. Who's your number 1?
My number 1 is Shanks. Number 1 is Shanks. Easy. Number 1. Question: do you think Shanks has Roger's sword?
No, they're different. They have a different handle.
Cutlass. Do they?
His was a cutlass. Okay. Shanks's is I can't remember. I'd have to look close again, but I believe they have different handles. That'd be interesting if he did, though.
You were the one who pointed out to me that he has Roger's attack.
Yes.
Or that was Roger's attack that he used. So
yeah.
It made me wonder because I couldn't remember what Roger's sword looked like.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I believe that's a good idea. That's good. We'll have to look at that. We'll post pictures on here of the 2 different swords, and we'll see what you guys think. Okay. My number 1 is Emu. I'm really interested in seeing what happens with him. Is he using one of the ancient weapons? Is he capable of destroying a country island by himself? There's a lot of theories and all that kind of stuff out there. So that is a character that's lying in wait. Very interested to see what happens with him going forward. Well, guys, that is our top 15 strongest One Piece characters as of right now. Drop in, give us a comment, let us know who you guys think are the strongest One Piece characters.